What's up YouTube, I'm just another guy and welcome back to Gibraltar United. So here is our end of season update. So let's jump into this. So bit of news surrounding the club first of all. So I haven't really looked at this screen in a while. So I thought, let's look at it now. So I am now a legend at the side. I don't actually know when this happened, but I'm a legend at the side. Last time I checked on this, which is about a month ago in game, well it was around the end of the season in game, Jason Coling was also a legend. But Terry Brown wasn't a legend. Terry Brown has been introduced as a legend at the side now this season, quite literally in the past few months. So we have got 3 legends in this team, having had 0 before. And we have 2 icons in Montgomery and Gregory. If Gregory can continue to score goals at the rate he does, I'm sure he'll be a legend soon. Montgomery, I think he's going to start leaving the side soon. We are trying to bring in new players, of course. And the right midfield is an area in the next few years I think needs to be focused on either this year or the year after. So Sean Montgomery might never become a legend, but I imagine Gregory will. Also with facilities, the board did decide they were going to accept the improvement in training facilities. So they took out £700,000 and invested it into the training facilities, which means currently we have a very, very small amount of £577,000 in the bank. So what we really need to be doing now is progressing beyond the second qualifying phase, either this year or next year. Because if we look at this year, our first year being a professional team, you'll see that we went from around £1.6 million down to £1.26 million. So that is around a £400,000 loss, which means if that happens this season, we're expecting around, £100,000 left in our bank come the end of the season, and that's not enough. Now, if we look at last season, actually, we didn't make too much of a loss. But something else I want to mention quickly is I won the quad this year. Now, obviously, that was going to be no surprise. We won the quad. But in our last game of the season, which was against Man 62 in the Rock Cup, we won it, of course. We picked up 43,081k. Now, from my knowledge, that is the highest fee I've ever picked up from a domestic or winning something domestically. The very first time I won that cup, I picked up £10,000. The second time I ever won that cup, I've picked up less than £10,000. So the prize money for winning the competitions is now increasing, which is good. Also, we have some new sponsors here today. A 5-year new sponsorship deal for the stadium for 21k per year. Not particularly, well, it's a huge jump up in money, but not extremely large amounts. And we got a new 2-year main kit sponsorship, which is good. That is the right amount of length of a sponsorship deal, in my opinion. 5 years is too long. 2 years, that's fine. That is perfect, because in 2 years, we hope to grow as a team. We hope to be able to pull in more sponsorships and grow this club's reputation. So 5-year sponsorship deal for the stadium, not too long of a deal. We could be missing our potential money. 2-year main kit sponsorship, that's great. That's perfect. So I spoke about the Champions League. The draw is today. Sadly, I couldn't see the draw. I don't know why, but I couldn't see the draw. But we know who we have in the second qualifying phase. We will be playing the New Saints in the second qualifying phase of the Champions League. Now, I personally don't know what happened. The reason I say this is because if I go into Europe, I go into nations and I go into qualification places, it says that technically, or actually, we have one team entering the first qualifying phase. Now, for some reason, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 teams in this qualifying phase, but we've been either given a bye through to the next round or something, because I'm not in the first qualifying phase. I'm in the second. So I don't know what went on there. I honestly God don't. Another thing as well, which is a little worrying to me, for some reason it says the Europa League there. We're not in the Europa League, so I don't know why that's there. So it's a little strange. I don't really know what's going on there too much. We've not got, well, the winner of this league doesn't go through to the second qualifying phase. If we go onto the rules, it should say that. See, it says first qualifying phase. I don't know what's gone on there, but some reason we're through to the second qualifying phase. I'm not going to complain. We actually got a really good draw as well against TNS. We should really be winning that game. TNS, who, of course, being the Welsh team, I go quite a lot about them. I played them quite a lot with Aberystwyth last year. I don't actually know any of their players. Maybe I do actually. I don't recognise any of their names. Maybe Chris Maxwell. I doubt he plays for TNS. No. So yeah, I don't really know many of their players. I do know for a fact they have quite a large bit. They have quite a bit more money than me. They obviously a larger reputation than me. 1.5 star. This club is still just a half-star reputation. But we have a really, really good chance of getting through to the next round of the second qualifying phase. It also means that we have around 2 weeks. For some reason I have the first qualifying phase draw today. Yeah, that's today, isn't it? Yeah, but I never saw it for some reason. But what it means is we have quite a long time, the 14th of June, to actually prepare the 14th of July, sorry, for us to prepare for the tie. So I can actually arrange a few friendlies, which is going to be really good. We can build up match fitness. We can go into the game ready and raring to go. And that is going to be really good. I already mentioned that I continued a little bit too far forward, so we're unable to see appearances and goals and stuff. But, you know, we can have a look back in a second because I'm going to go through this team in quite detail today. In terms of fixtures, we're going to go through that. We're going to go how we did. So I left you off at the Britannia game in the 4-1 win in the Rock Cup. After that, it was a pretty solid season. We still conceded quite a few goals in a few games. We did win 6-0 against Britannia in a good game. Beat Lincoln twice in a row, which was really good. Beat Lions as well, 5-1. We also beat College Gibraltar, College Pegasus. Olympique actually pushed us quite a bit. They scored 3 goals against us, but we did win 5-1 on the day. Beat Lynx 4-0, and we beat Man 62 4-0 in the final. Now, for eagle-eye people, they will notice that maybe a few new names are in the squad. And that's because we actually didn't have the worst youth intake we've ever had. In fact, we probably had one of the best because... well, I say one of the best. Terry Brown is a very good player. I'm going to say was. He is a very good player for this team. And, you know, he's obviously shown he's got some talent. Coling as well, being a legend, being a goal scoring record he has, shows that, again, he's got talent. But when they came through our youth system, we only had one good player, and it was them. This year, you could arguably say we've had a few good players come through. So the first one is Matthew Kirby. He's currently our starting left attacking mid if we don't get a left attacking mid, which I'm currently trying to find. Do I have one on trial? I don't have one on trial. I did have 2 on trial, but I couldn't arrange a wage with them. But yeah, this guy doesn't look too bad. He's got some decent pace. Obviously, he's got some shocking stats on him. Passing, vision off the ball, tackling, marking, heading, finishing, composure is atrocious, anticipation. Obviously, he's got some shocking stats, but he's got some good ones on him as well, which you can't knock. For example, first touch, long shots, crossing, dribbling, pace. You know, the pace on him is good. Determination, work rate. So, you know, I think this guy's got potential. He came in a little bit last season, actually played 3 games for us in the league and 4 in all competitions. Started in the cup final and actually got a goal as well. So, overall, from what I've seen with him, from the very small portion of the season he was actually able to play in, he's not done too badly. So, yeah, Kirby, I'm looking forward to see how he goes. And the next guy, and probably the last really good guy from our youth system this year, was Miguel Fernandez. Now, this guy isn't particularly great right now, but what he does have is really good potential. So, again, we're going to look to try and push him through. He came on as a substitute in 2 appearances, 2 times last season, including the cup final. So, again, I'm going to try and see what he can do. I've already spoken in the past how I'm not really focusing right now on pushing through youngsters, but... well, squad depth here isn't very good, so youngsters will end up being on the bench. Youngsters will occasionally get games, you know, from the bench in the starting 11. So, you know, I'm not too worried about that. You know, if these guys play, they play. If they don't play, you know, they don't play. Either way, I'm not too fussed. But why is Fernandez on £90 a week? I've no idea. That's a bit strange. Anyway, let's go, because I can't see player stats. It's quite... wait, can I see player stats for the league still? I think I might be able to. Alright, I can. So yeah, let's have a look at how the team did in the league. We can go through them individually anyway in a second. So, Gregory scored 11, finishing top goal scorer of the season. Coling came second with 10. Assist-wise, a load of people are up there. Victor, Duarte, Brown, Coling, all getting a high amount of assists. Player of the match awards, Gregory and Brown got 3 each. Yellow cards, Terry Brown picked up quite a few yellow cards. Actually got banned for a match because 3 yellow cards in this division is a suspension. Most clean sheets went to Coling, only getting 1 more than the other guys in this league. Osea actually got 2, so for a short amount of times he was in this or played for us, he kept 2 clean sheets. So he's, you know, maybe that's a view that he could be a better keeper than Coling. I don't know, depends. Osea was actually injured a little bit at the end of last season. He broke his finger, I believe. If I go on to injuries, yeah, he broke his finger out for 6 weeks. So as a result, Coling did play a few games at the end of the season, or quite a few games. So, and that was maybe one of the reasons why we conceded so many. I don't know. But apart from that, I don't really see too many stats here. Team stat-wise, I'm going to show you our average attendance, because that has grown yet again. 2,616 people came to watch us this season. And the thing is, if we go into particular games, You know, we had 4,000, that's a cup final, that's a bad example. We had 3,005 people watch us play Lincoln. We had 3,754 people watch us play the last game of the season. You know, we've had massive attendances at points. College Europa, 2,789. We're nearly able to fill our stadium on certain occasions. And in all cup finals, they're all home and away cup finals. And the thing is, like I say, that, to me, the Lynx game, 4,468 people in that final was probably one of the largest people to ever play, or largest attendance from any club team in Gibraltar in this game so far. I don't know about in the past, I don't know history, etc. But yeah, 4,468 is for the cup. 4,860 was for the Rock Cup final actually last year when we played Man 62 on that occasion. And what about the Premier Division? So yeah, actually that Rock Cup final there, 4,860, only 140 seats or people left to come into the stadium. You know, we can get these good attendances, which is a slight bit of help for us, but nothing particularly too great. So I saw Jesse Moon there, and I was like, what's he doing there? I thought he retired. He had. But yeah, we'll go through the players now, but I just want to mention something briefly. 3 players will be leaving by the next time I see you. Barcelo, Harrison, and Duarte, they're all going to be leaving the side. Actually, and Cordoza as well. They're all going to be leaving. They're all not going to be getting new deals. This guy down here, I haven't really highlighted. He's just a youngster that I decided, you know, he could be a good backup keeper. I am still trying to get rid of Dale Coling. I'd rather spend that £230 a week elsewhere. So, wouldn't be surprised if he left. Although, in another way, I would be surprised if he left because no one seems to be interested. I don't think anyone can afford his wages. As a result, no one's after him. And, you know, no one foreign is yet after my players. So, as a result, no one is particularly interested. I can only really get interest in my own division. But yeah, let's... Actually, I wanted to do a little bit of transfers. Last season, at the end of the season, we did also release a few people. Adam Whitbread, he was released. I don't think anyone's going to really pick him up. I don't know why, but I can't really picture anyone trying to sign him. And also, we let Victor go. Now, this guy's a consistently good player for us. Whenever I called upon him, whenever Gregory was injured, which was quite a lot in these past 3 years, really 4 years, you could argue, he played really well. And as a result, the fans were quite unhappy to see him go, but he wasn't on a contract. But I just decided I didn't need him anymore. And we need to keep our training light, if we can, for my coaches. We need to keep this light. As you see, everything's average right now. So once everyone leaves the side for their end of season contracts, if this is still average, I will probably look to release a few youth players that will never make it. Because I need everyone to be able to focus on players doing specific roles and stuff like that as much as they can. So, you know, to do that and keep things light. I mean, I have the ability to sign a few more coaches, and I could just sign one coach and highlight him to absolutely everything, because 2 coaches, or, you know, a 1-star rating with a 3.5-star rating doesn't actually affect the rating. It will still be 3.5. So I could just have one coach there, but then that's more money I have to spend. And right now, you know, I'm losing money quite a lot. I can't really afford to do that. So I'm just, you know, I'm going to keep it like I did in the past. I'm just going to try and release a few players, keep it all light at the bottom. But yeah, let's go through my players. I was asked to do this, so we're going to go through everyone. That's why I put them all in the senior squad a second ago. And I'm going to do it on this screen because a few people wanted to see this. Apparently that helps them judge players, but to me it's always solid stats. So here is our goalkeeper. Nothing really happened to him. He was injured, so I didn't really expect too much growth. Here's Rawlins, and young goalkeeper that will probably be back up. Brian Smith, he's our young striker. Played quite a bit last season. Didn't do too badly as well. So yep, he's apparently wanted by clubs. Or by a club. Who is he currently wanted by? Let me go on transfers quickly. Loan by links. You know what? I don't think I would be accepting that. Just because we don't really have many strikers here, and I could use with actually a third choice striker. Then again, I am sort of looking for a striker, for someone to come in and replace Coling. Despite the fact Coling is an absolute legend, he's not going to help us in the Champions League, really. He's not going to help us 3 or 4 years down the line, and that's the harsh truth of the matter. I have to let legends go to bring hopefully new legends in. So Brian Smith will probably stay. Here's Matthew Smith, no relation, I don't believe. Although, actually, I could be wrong there. Is there a relation? Dun, 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 dun. No relation. I had brothers before, but not in this save. So, yep. Matthew Smith, one of our best centre-backs this season, or actually since we've had this game. Got some really good stats. I think he is growing. I'm not too sure. I don't actually see any individual stats. His pace has gone up a little bit, but yeah, not too bad. Definitely do for the next 2 years, or under his contract 3 years. Maybe do for the next 3 years, I'm not too sure. Here's our new centre-back, of course. Again, not done too bad when he came in. Actually, sort of suited the league in a way. He was good enough. He scored a few goals for us last season. 4 goals actually. He actually played really well last season. I didn't realise he played that well. So yeah, it doesn't look too bad, Amari. So looking forward to see how he does in the full year. And in the Champions League, of course. Dean Baldwin, he has grown a lot this season. I've definitely been professional. I've seen the benefit. I've seen his growth a lot more than any other player. Mentally, he looks pretty sound. Physically, really good. Technically, does need a little bit of work, but he is growing, and I really like seeing that visual growth. And I do think he'll be a really good player in the future, and could arguably be here for the next 3, 4, 5 years. Even if it was in about 5 years' time, even if he was just a backup, he could be here for a long time because I'm seeing the growth, and he's only 19. Typically, or normally, you'd expect growth to stop around age 24. Rapid growth anyway, so he's still got a few years left in him, so I'm be interested to see how he actually, when he finally peaks. This is our backup centre-back. He'll be our backup centre-back for the next year. Don't really need to go too much detail in him. He won't really do anything for anyone. Actually played 3 times for Gibraltar, and that's pretty sad when you think about it because he's not a good player. But I can't afford to try and push through Gibraltarian players anymore. I want to make that push for the Champions League. We could get 3rd qualifying phase this year. That's what turning professional was all about. Here's Barcelo. He's always leaving the side, so we're not going to go through him. Terry Brown, been beasting it this year for the past few years, actually. Not particularly great defending, as you can see, or attacking there, but, not too bad. He plays well enough, so I'm happy with that for now. Here's Burgess. Not really been too bothered about this guy for the past few years. He's currently not on the contract, so, that's why he's still at this team. If he for whatever reason wanted to leave, I'd be more than happy to release him. But I definitely picture this guy being here for the upcoming future because he is still good enough to be a backup. He is still good enough to technically play for the first team if I really wanted to. But I don't picture me ever offering him a full-time deal. Catania, same sort of principle applies. Just a good enough backup for the right back. Actually played 7 times for the first team. Again, pretty sad because he's not a really good right back. Dale Coling, don't really want him anymore. Simple as that. Jason Coling, still doing really well. Not seeing particularly great growth, although I think he's sort of reached the peak of his ability, which is why his growth sort of slowed down, which is again sort of why I'm looking at maybe a new striker. Not really got great physicals. I really like my strikers to have standout physicals. I have a good strength, jumping, therefore a good target man, something like that. Or very quick, good agility, therefore he can be an advanced forward or poacher. Coling never really had any. He's not particularly tall. He's 5'10", so he's not really good cut out for a target man. He's always been my advanced forward. He does play that role pretty well, but I am now sort of saying looking for a new striker, looking for the next best thing. Duarte is leaving the team. I'm not going to go through it. Jose Luis Enrique, not really going to go through that. Not a good player. Miguel Fernandez, you already saw this guy. Callum Gregory, still got pretty good stats. Actually, his growth, I've seen his growth now in his strength and jump reach from you guys when you last saw him, because when he got injured quite a bit, I actually showed you his stats and hoped that he didn't go down, but still got good stats. 26 now, really in the prime of his career. Let's hope he can be the guy we need in this TNS match that will come up in the next episode and help us get through the next round of the Champions League. I really like this guy's finishing composure. It's really good for this level of football, and this is why he scored quite a few goals last year. Tom Harrison, leaving the side, not going to go into him. Aaron King is the backup right midfield for next season. Not particularly great, but just because I can't afford to bring in a new right mid, really. All my backups are going to be youth players, just because I want to spend limited amount of money on the youth, or on backup, most amount of money on the first team. Who's next? Kirby, you already saw Kirby. Elliot Loftus is a centre mid. He's our backup centre mid for the season. I don't remember too much. He came for our youth system, but I know he didn't. He came for our youth system a few years ago, but he's not great. Don't really worry too much about him. He's never going to be anything too good. Victor Lopez, I am looking at a new right back. It's not main priority, that is left mid, but I am looking for a new right back. It's one of my priorities for the summer. So, yeah, I'm not sure how long he'll be here for. How long he's got left at this club. But for now, he should do for beating TNS, hopefully. Montgomery, I think his injuries really hindered him throughout his career, and as a result, I do think his time ran out. I'm looking for a new right mid as well. Sort of same priority as right back. It's not urgent, but it's something I definitely need to be looking for. And I do think his time ran out. Sorry for Montgomery, really, because, he had quite a few bad injuries. And if maybe he didn't have them, kept him out for quite long spells, if he didn't have them constant little niggles on something, he may be a good enough player right now to, stay in this team for at least another few years. But that's how things panned out. Norton Rumbo will always be here as a backup, probably, until he retires. Played 11 times for the international team. O'Donoghue had a really good year for us. Pretty solid. I did make a few mistakes here and there. I think one game he had a terrible match, gave away a penalty, but it didn't affect the overall result. Obviously, we won, so yeah, should be good enough to see out his contract here. When's his contract? 2022. Yeah, should be good enough to see out his contract. Then we'll probably have a look at the market again, see what's out there, and maybe think about bringing in either a new one or re-signing him. And we're back at Osea. So that was the squad in quite a bit of depth. I flicked through them all there. What could we do next? I don't think there's anything else actually I really need to go through. We'll just go through the normal stuff that we do at the end of the year. So there you go. Average attendance record was broken. We went up 300 from last year. That is really good. All my right backs I'm looking for. What else is next? Fans Player of the Year went to Jason Coling. Picked up 38%. Just missing Terry Brown, just missing out, and Callum Gregory. 3 front runners. We retained top spot in Gibraltar in terms of reputation. Still not 1-star though. We also topped the sponsorship deals. With all these new sponsorship deals we got before the end of the season, apparently we rake in 40% of all sponsorship money in this division. That is mental. That is actually really crazy. When you actually think Olympique only bring in £6,000 per year for sponsorship deals. Wow. Hardly any money. I don't think ours was ever that low. I feel sorry for them. What's the other thing I wanted to quickly look at? Like the European squad rankings going up and down. Pre-season. There we go. Here it is. So homegrown players were fine about that. We moved up 233 places. We're now 270th in Europe. Wait, weren't we above that before? 233 places. I thought we were top 300 last year. I vaguely remember making quite a big deal about that. But either way, we've got 5.583 points. I still don't understand really what's gone on with the Champions League. We should be in the first qualifying phase. Hopefully when I progress, things won't go wrong. But Daryl Linfield from Northern Ireland. Who else is pretty decent size? There's Hearts, actually. Obviously, they've not been able to bounce back, I imagine, from their... Oh, no, they actually won the league in last year. Wow. So they'll be in the Champions League. But yeah, we're above Hearts. St. Gallen there from Switzerland. Debrecen. They've played Liverpool, I believe, in the past. I don't know, Champions League, Europa League, whatever. What the hell's that? Is that... That can't be a... Is that, like, Olympiacos? No, that's not Olympiacos. That's the second division. What the hell? Olympiacos' second team have been in... What? How's that happening? They can't have been in Europe, can they? They were in Europe. What the hell? Is that the Olympics? I imagine that's their second team. They've got the same badge. What the hell? How did that happen? Alright, so it's not too bad. Either way, we're pretty high in that list. The competition moved up 11 places. Not a lot. Only 120th now. But I think the growth might be a little bit slow. I don't know. If we have a good year in Europe this year, we might see a large growth again. But we're now above the Vanarama Conference North and South League. So I'll be hopefully getting a few players from there these upcoming years. Who was another pretty decently sized league? The Scottish League 2 there, I know that because obviously being Scottish, being British, I mean, I know that because I don't really know, like for example, this Portuguese league and the French league, I have no idea what they mean. But I imagine the fact that there's amateur there means the French league isn't particularly high. Where are we in top divisions? Let's hope this lagged a little last time. Let's see if it takes us long. It should be done now. There we go. I was almost right there actually. So we're above Andorra, San Marino and Luxembourg, just like we were last time we looked. The Faroe Islands is just above us though. Malta is 115th as well. So, not too far off being above them, which would ideally be great. And actually, Montenegro have the lowest 1.5 star reputation league, and they are 89th. So, really, we're not too far off. We're getting a little bit up there. We just need a really good year in Europe, and I think I've gone through everything I really needed to this time. I still don't really understand what's going on in Europe. I'm kind of worried because I don't want to continue in it to suddenly like bug out or something nonsense like that. Or it's like, here's a surprise Champions League first qualifying phase game. I can't quite work out. Oh, actually, I think that actually happened, We were given a bye into the next round against TNS for some reason. That should be a first qualifying phase game, I think. I don't know. That's actually really, really weird how that's happened. Let me go on the tree quickly. Yeah, you can do a tree at this stage, can't you? Cool. Yeah, see, look, that team were given a bye into the next round. Oh, no, wait, that's the first qualifying phase. So, yeah, we must have been... Yeah, we were given a bye into the next round for some reason, for whatever reason, and given TNS, which is it's actually a really good draw. Oh, man. I You know what? Let's end it here, guys, because I really want to record. I really want to get to that thing and record that game, because we could potentially be getting through to the third qualifying phase. Now, TNS are favourites, but you know, with the plucky guys, we're gonna have hopefully be getting some new players in. I'm looking at left midfielders. I've got people like Gary Kelly. I won't be able to get Dennis. I've tried it so many times. I tried getting Cockcroft, couldn't get him. Stephen Day actually. Let's get a report on you. I'm getting reports on absolutely loads of people over the summer. I just really want to make sure I'm picking out that right left midfielder, because he's got to be here for about 2 years. But hopefully we'll get one of these guys in. That'll be great. And then we can look at another area to pitch. But either way, guys, next time I meet you back, TNS, second qualifying phase, with that chance for the third qualifying phase. That's what we've been aiming for these past few years. Second year professional. Let's push on. Until next time, guys. Peace out.